Determined.
Determined.
Inspired.
Inspired.
Victorious.
Victorious.
Anointed.
Divas of Dallas.
Okay, divas and gents, now you just met Mariah with Lips to Lashes. Now we're going to meet such an awesome woman, Miss Monica Johnson, who is an advocate, a life coach, an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur, and let's not forget, her and her husband, Mr. Todrick Johnson, they're the founder of Epitome Magazine. So I cannot believe it, and I cannot wait for you guys to meet Mrs. Monica Johnson. Let's go. Okay, well, I am back. Hello, divas and gents. I am here with the lovely Miss Monica Johnson. I just told you guys she is an author, she is a life coach, she's an advocate, she's an entrepreneur. It's so many things. She's a Jane of all trades and a master of plenty. So I'm just gonna let her talk about a little bit of what she have going on. She also have a campaign, This Girl is Smart. We're gonna talk about that. So I am so excited to be sitting here. Thank you so much. It is a blessing that you accepted my invitation to come into your space and interview you.
Oh, well, thank you,
Thank you, Miss
Candace.
Monica. Thank you so much. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as Candace said, I'm Monica Johnson. I am an author. I'm an advocate. I am a professional. I'm still currently employed at the Fortune 100 company. I am a motivator. I'm a speaker. I'm a minister, I minister as well. And it's just so much more to the facet of who I am. But I think the greatest of it all is that I am a person who loves people. I'm a person who loves women, who love girls. I think that when we get ourselves together as the adults, we can impact the next generation. Just like if you're a mom, if the mom is well in the house, so the whole family is well. So that's who I am in kind of like a nutshell. So my mission is to inspire, to ignite, and to inform individuals to live a breathtaking life.
Inspire, ignite, and inform. Did y'all hear that? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about That Girl is Smart. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, That Girl is Smart is a nonprofit 501c3 nonprofit organization that's registered. And it came about, just, and let me tell you what it means. That girl is smart. The smart is successful, magnificent, authentic, resourceful, and talented. And I believe that every mother, daughter, and wife fits into that category. We're all smart, and we're all looking for ways to ignite our life, to empower our life, to make sure that we're not taking our brokenness with us and using our energy to be awakening to the mind. And so what That Girl is Smart does is that it talks to the individuals, females, ages 6 years of old and older. It talks to them about who they are, about their authenticity, about how to shift in their mindset. So we cover from the little girl's perspective, from education to career, to leadership, to community involvement, to fitness, to their well-being, to their self-identity, to the peer pressure, to the social issues that they deal with within their own little realm. We talk about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. So we talk about all of those programs, how they can benefit. Because if you notice, a lot of our girls don't go into those subjects, and we don't focus on those things, like, because we think maybe too hard for us. But I think that once we exposure, let me say this: exposure is key. And so I believe that when you expose our girls to something different, then their environments and their minds are awakened, and then they're able to shift into something different. So what we do with this program is that not only do we just talk about those from a credential standpoint, but also from a experiential standpoint. And how That Girl is Smart was founded because I looked at my life and I looked at everything I had been through as a little girl who wanted someone to say that I was special, who wanted to give me self-love, who wanted to give me love. So I didn't have that love. I didn't have the approval that I needed or I was seeking. So I was looking outside of who I was. So how can we bring our babies in and let our babies be able to see, you know what, you're comfortable in your own skin. So this mirror ministry, in other words, And that's what it does. And then on the other side of it, we have the women's side. to where we do coaching and we do mentoring and we do all facets to just propel them to live the best life that they can. Not looking at what's my favorite people are Becky and Bob, or Sally and Bob. Not looking at what they're doing, but looking in your own glass, looking in your own mirror and saying, you know what? I am special. I am somebody.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay, so you have an event coming up.
Yes, March the 26th.
March the 26th.
Yes.
And that girl is smart.
And it's
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be based in Irving at the Hilton Inn Hotel.
Okay.
In Irving, Hilton Garden Inn Hotel in Irving off of 183, which is like the DFW Hilton. And it's just an awakening. We've had the ones that we've already put on. Again, you have two conferences in one, where the mothers are in their conference and the babies are in their conference. And there's different speakers in each room speaking life into the mothers, speaking life into the daughters. But then when they leave there, they're able to converse about what it is that they experienced, what it is that they went through, and how they can have this dialogue about, you know, Mom, this is what I went through, or whoever their caregiver is, and the mom can say, you know what, baby, this is what I went through, and how can we bridge that gap again? Because when we make the babies whole and the moms whole, then we have a whole house. That's whole, that's healed, that's living a life that is not allowing them to break what is within them, but break open.
Tell me, is it too late to sign up?
No, it's not too late to sign up. You can register at thatgirlissmart.com or .org. And what it does is that the moms pay the $38 to attend the registration. Okay. But the mom then, or the caregiver again, can bring 2 girls for free.
Did you can't. Moms pay the $38 and then they can bring 2 girls for free.
You can't beat it. And then this time we've added a TGIS photo shoot. So they're going to walk away with remembrance of what they've experienced at the event.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me the time of the conference.
The time of the conference is from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
10 to 2.
That's it.
March 26th.
March 26th at the...
You can still register.
Yes. It's a compilation of my life. You know, because when most people see me, they always see this person who's always smiling and all this energy and excitement. And now you really get a chance to see it in person, right? But it doesn't talk about the little girl. That's what was inside. That's still inside of me. Because every now and then she pops up. You know, and so when you're responding from an aspect of hurt or from pain when our decisions, it's really from that little girl that's inside. And this little girl who I was, you know, that little Monica, she didn't know her mother. Her mother got killed when she was 1 year old on her 21st birthday by her dad's girlfriend. So my mom was supposed to like go out and celebrate her birthday with my dad, and she was supposed to, and I guess my dad was supposed to bring me some Pampers. This is a story that I'm being told, and so what happened was there was a conversation or a telephone call went to my mom and said that my dad was out at the club with another woman, and my mother didn't know how to drive. So somebody actually picked my mother up and took her out to the club, dropped her off. And outside of the club, it was my mom, my dad, and the other lady who was pregnant by my dad. And they got into an altercation, and she ended up shooting my mother on her 21st birthday. And not realizing that the ramifications of that. So it started when I was and it also talks about in the book how, you know, when the story comes out that I'm this little girl who my mom was pregnant with, that my mom then was dating a guy who's supposed to be now my biological father, which is, I mean, the story is kind of confusing at times because there's so much involvement in there, who my mom was dating this guy whose wife or girlfriend was in jail. My mom and biological father supposedly hooked up, conceived me, but then when the lady got out of jail, he got back with his wife, which is naturally so, you know, and there was an altercation. And that woman ended up being stabbed 19 times. She didn't die of the stabbing, but what it created was that the family became silo. We're not going to have anything to do with that baby. So I was already unwanted in the womb. And so if you know what the womb does, that's why they're telling us with statistics that if you begin to speak to a womb, you begin to talk to a baby while it's in there, the baby, either we see, but the baby hears. We see, but the baby hears. And the baby can hear the sound of the voice. And so you can imagine me already being amongst trauma. So going forward. So that means that now I was already, like I said, unwanted. So I dealt with a lot of rejection, with a lot of abandonment, a lot of low self-esteem issues. When I was in the first grade, I got ran over by a car. I was drug 100 feet. Most people don't know, if you look really close, I have skin grafts. Just from perspective of, what scientists and doctors can do now, and all this kind of stuff to make, take, when they learn how to do grafts and put them on your face in the right places, in the right apportionment. But what happened was, in the same home there was molestation in the same home that I was in, because my sister and I, we lived in 4 different homes before. The family that I'm with now, that I call mom, and I called my brothers and sisters, I got with them in the 7th grade, finally, in the 7th grade. And it was just a lot of brokenness. So even from that standpoint, I'd never seen a picture of my mother until I was 30 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I never knew what I looked like. Then I'm like, where do I get this smile from? And then these freckles and all this kind of stuff, and just going through the aspect of trying to find out who I was. And so there was a lot of trauma. I fell 18 feet from a bridge. I've had brain surgery. I'm fusing my neck from C4 to C7. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. I was never hugged as a child. So I was in a domestic abuse relationship where my child's father knocked my teeth out, but I stayed because I thought that was acceptable love. When you don't know love and you hadn't experienced love, you think anybody that says I love you, you love. And so what I realized, though, is that all of this stuff, and it's so much more, that's why I can't tell you all of these, all in the book, but it kind of gives you a reflection of, look at that little girl inside of you, or that little boy inside of you, because I've had many men who tell me that my story is your story. Because anytime you're dealing with brokenness and abandonment and rejection and low self-esteem and insecurities, that's anybody.
Yes.
And those things affect you. So I became this people pleaser. Now, I'm a little, what they say now, a little bold and very direct now. But I became this people pleaser. And in pleasing people, whatever they would say, just so they could like me. Whatever they would want, I would go out of my way just to say, so you could be my friend. So it talks about that in here. And it talks about how I became confident in my personality when God gave me the revelation. It talks about, like, if you go through some of the chapters and it tells you missing identity, broken dreams, finding a way out, my defining moments. I was skinny, sick, and almost dead. It talks about a revelation in Africa, how that girl S.M.A.R.T was formed. But it kind of tells you that all of that compiled together creates this smile. And the only thing I can say, Candace, is that the reason why I know I have this smile is because he trusted me with all this brokenness. I was always victorious. I stopped asking the question why. Why did this happen? And I began to ask the question, what? If you allowed it to happen, God, then what am I to do with it? Who am I to help? Who am I to pour into? Who am I to ignite? So I began to say, you know what? You're not going to let what happened to me break me. We're going to break open what's within me.
Right.
I knew I was created to be a change agent. Who would ever thought that, now I have a degree in accounting.
Yes.
I have an MBA.
Yes.
And then I have a master's in theology.
Yes.
And something else was about to happen. And so
yes.
I just, who would have thought I'd been an author? Who thought I'd been working for a Fortune 100 company? But the reason why I know it happened, so that you can see me as a witness to God's plans, to God's purpose, to his assignment for my life. And I just believe that it's his life that's overflowing in me. And I'm grateful for the challenges. I'm grateful for the brokenness, because now I'm awakened.
Yes.
I'm captivated in his love.
Right.
I'm igniting others, and I'm going out and saying, you know what? You don't have to live in that. Right. That's what this book does. It makes you reflect that you can live whole, regardless of your situations, regardless of your circumstances. You can live a life that is breathtaking.
Yes. So where can you get the book?
You get the book at themonicajohnson.com and also on thatgirlissmart.com. There's a link to it as well. Okay. So either one of themonicajohnson and thatgirlissmart.com.
All right. Thank you, divas and gents. Thank you again for tuning in with us. This is going to conclude today's segment of Women Making a Difference. I am Candace Renee, and I thank you guys so much. Be blessed. Peace and blessings.
Bye-bye.